I've made $73,000 selling blank books online. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've learned so that you are able to build a successful online business selling books or other stationery items. Hey, if you're new here, and hey, if you are just coming back, my name is Shanice, and my purpose is to ensure that online moneymakers are able to, one, maximize their presence, and two, increase their sales. And this video is all about my experience selling blank books online. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and insert only in front of that 73,000 just because I don't want to limit myself. I believe abundance is for me. There is lots more in store as I look to restart my stationery business. And so I'm going to go ahead and say that I've made only $73,000 selling blank books online. With this video, I'm going to start off with just giving you some backstory so you can understand my journey, and then I will go ahead and share the lessons that I've learned with you. I started my stationery business in October or November of 2021. When I started that stationery business, I started it using money that I had made from selling digital products on Etsy. I opened my Etsy shop in about 2020 and I was selling a locked hair care journal. At the time I had locks. I since took my locks out and now I'm gonna put my locks back in. But at the time I had locks, so I made a locked natural hair care journal. By October, November of 2021, I had decided that I wanted to offer this digital product as a physical book. And so in doing my research, I stumbled upon Amazon KDP and I started publishing that book on Amazon KDP. A little while after that, I got into physical stationery products. So I made a couple notepads. I also made a couple of sticky notes. I opened up a TikTok account and I started this stationery business. After publishing that one journal on Amazon KDP and then subsequently starting to sell other stationery products, I then decided that I wanted to add more journals into my business. And so I started publishing more journals on Amazon KDP, and I also started tracking that journey here on YouTube. In 2021, I made a YouTube video unboxing my books from Amazon KDP, and that's really when the journey and the business started. My very first year on Amazon KDP, I made about $1,000, which was great for me, but I also made over $10,000 selling my additional stationery products. I launched my business in October, November, which was a perfect time for Christmas shopping, planner season, and so I really did get lots of support and lots of sales. So I had made about $10,000 selling sticky notes, notepads, and wire-bounded journals before even making $1,000 selling my paperback books on Amazon KDP. So fast forward to 2023, still running my stationery business, still working my full-time job, still directing traffic to Amazon so that people who didn't want the wire-bounded journals could get a cheaper paperback option of the products I was selling. I saw something amazing happening with my books on Amazon. So one of my books on Amazon literally took off and I made $67,000 in 1 month from one book on Amazon KDP. Fast forward to now, I've since made over $73,000 just selling blank books. So simple lined journals, whether it's paperback or wire bound. And I am not including any income that I generated from sticky notes, notepads, or any other stationery products. So now that you know my story, let's go ahead and hop into the lessons. The first lesson I want to share with you is that business is risky. And I want to start off with this lesson because this was actually my biggest lesson from everything that had happened in my business. So as I shared with you all, I started on Amazon KDP around October or November of 2021. And by January of 2023, I had already made about $68,000. However, if we fast forward to May of 2023, then I also got that same KDP account terminated, and that account was terminated for 10 months. Saying that to say, it was just a couple months ago that they gave me that account back. And so my biggest lesson from running an online business, especially selling books on Amazon, is that business is risky. Now, business overall is risky. When you venture out into business, you never know what's going to happen. Even right now, as I'm a full-time entrepreneur, I never know what each month is going to look like. One month I make $1,000, the next month I make $2,000, the next month I make $3,000, and that cycle just keeps going on and on. And that is something that you have to accept as an entrepreneur. However, I did not expect or anticipate, sadly enough, that my Amazon KDP account would have been such a big earner and then also be such a big disappointment. I had an issue with my books. Amazon terminated my account, and that kind of put a damper on my whole business, simply because I had been linking to Amazon. I had been sending customers to Amazon. So it was a little embarrassing that my account was no longer there. I was also on YouTube sharing about this KDP journey, and people were in my comments like, hey, I don't see your books on Amazon anymore. What happened? And so it was really embarrassing. At the time, it was really a lot to deal with, but as I sat down, as I thought about it, I started to realize that that is just the nature of business. Business is risky, and sometimes things happen. Sometimes you've been working with a supplier, a partner for a period of time, and then something goes wrong. You can't work with them anymore. You lose your supply chain. So lots of things can go wrong with business. And I feel like because I was new, it was my first like real full business online, and I thought I was doing well. I thought my business was finally at a really, really good place in terms of profitability. I was really intrigued to keep this going, to keep publishing. And so when that account got terminated, it really just put a damper on business for me. And I was kind of like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. But as I sat down, as I reflected, as I'm starting this new business of really just focusing on content being my business and business education and selling digital products and supporting other small business owners, as I'm starting this new business, I'm really starting to see that no matter the nature of your business, there is risk involved, and you need to find ways to mitigate that risk. So something that worked well for me was the fact that I didn't just sell journals on Amazon KDP, but I sold journals on my own website. I sold journals wholesale. I sold journals on Etsy. I added journals into stationery boxes with a sticky note, with a notepad, with a pen. And so I was able to keep my business going. But for a lot of people, something like that can seriously shut down their entire business. And so that is why I think it's important to make sure that although business is risky, you have ways that you are able to mitigate that risk. For me, one of those ways was to make sure that I had alternative suppliers, vendors that I was using, because I wasn't just selling books on Amazon. I had a stationery business. And so if you're looking to start a stationery business, or if you're looking for alternative print suppliers to Amazon, then I highly recommend you check out my ebook. It's called More Than a Vendor List, and I'm going to give you 15 stationery vendors that you can use to print tons of stationery products. So not just journals, not just notebooks, but also sticky notes, affirmation magnets, business cards, whatever you are looking to get made in your stationery business, I guarantee you that you'll find a supplier in that vendor list. So although I struggled mentally and it was really a lot losing something that I was like, hey, this was a big earner for me, and I was really looking forward to continuing to earn from this medium, I was just so thankful that I was able to keep my business going because one, I had this YouTube channel and this amazing community, and I had additional suppliers to keep my stationery business going. And so since then, my account has been reinstated, but you know what? I actually have not gotten back into publishing on Amazon KDP. I think I'm just kind of taking my time. Sometimes you gamble and you lose big, so you never gamble again. Sometimes you gamble and you lose big, and it takes you a little while before you bet on that horse again. And sometimes you gamble, lose big, brush it off, and go back into it. I think I'm right in between, where I gambled, I earned big, I lost big, and now I'm taking my time before I bet on that horse again. And so that's kind of where I am with self-publishing on Amazon KDP, but I do still think that it can be a really lucrative opportunity for the right person. The second lesson I learned was to immerse yourself in what you're doing. And you want to continue to immerse yourself while you're doing it, before you're doing it, and even after you've done it. I think that this was something that I didn't really pay attention to. So when I published my books on Amazon KDP, I didn't think I would be successful. I was literally just using it as a way to keep sending customers so they could keep buying my books. I did not think or expect that Amazon would ever push my books and I would ever get sales from them. And so because of that, I didn't spend any time learning the platform. And if you really think about it, if I had spent some time learning the platform, learning Amazon KDP, I wouldn't have had the time to to work on the stationery business and get the money now. And while I was working my full-time job, it was really important to me to actually get the money now. And so I focused and spent a lot of time on TikTok promoting my business, trying to move the stationery products because I had this inventory at home. I was shipping out packages from home. And so I spent a lot of my time on that aspect of the business instead of like truly learning and studying Amazon KDP. And while it was beneficial for me, it may not be beneficial for you if you are really into just having that print on demand. You're not in a place where you can ship products from your home. You really want to focus on earning money from Amazon KDP. So if you're in this bracket, then you really do need to focus on learning as much as possible about the platform. Amazon changes literally all the time, and you need to stay on top of those changes. One recent change I can think about is the fact that before, you could publish companion books on Amazon KDP. So say somebody wrote a book like Atomic Habits, you could publish a companion guide to Atomic Habits that is basically like a summary of the book. However, recently Amazon completely changed their policies and they were like, actually, we are not accepting companion books anymore. These books cannot be published, and the books that are currently published, we are going to remove them. Of course, they do have some little leeways in there where they remove some and they don't remove others. Either way, it stands to show you that you may publish something at a time where it's okay to publish it, but then they change the rules. You don't know they changed the rules, and now your account is in trouble because you were not immersing yourself in what's happening. You were not staying on top of the updates. And so you got in trouble for something that was okay when you first published your book. And again, this is just business, right? The landscape of business is going to change. If you're on social media, you can see how the algorithm changes all the time, right? So business is ever changing, and you really do need to be growing with your business as well as staying on top of any new updates or changes that could possibly affect your business and ultimately your income. The third lesson I want to share with you all, and that is something that I'm probably overdoing right now, is to spend more time in product development. It can seem easy to just create a blank book and upload it to Amazon. And I know because I did it. But you know what? When that blank book starts to sell, you are going to come face to face with all the things that you overlooked. For me, that looked like grammatical errors. It also looked like not having any branding details inside of the blank journal that sold. I sold over 35,000 copies of that blank book on Amazon, and none of them had a logo. None of them had, a link to my website. It was literally just lines and the cover. And to this day, that is one of the things that I look back on and I say, hey, you know what? That is not what I should have done. What I should have done is branded my book. What I should have done is had a link or a QR code to a newsletter so I could convert some of those 35,000 people into Shanice DK Designs customers, right? So instead of just a brand on Amazon, I'm converting that traffic from Amazon into leads for my own business. And so every time I have a coaching call, every time I sit down with someone, I say, make sure you are branding your books. Make sure you are putting in QR codes, links, getting people to sign up for your newsletters. Not everyone will do it, but you know what? That imprint will always be there. So it could be a year from now that they decide to scan the QR code and see what new books you have available. It could be they never do it, but at least it's there. And so when I say spend more time in product development, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making sure that you have a checklist of things that need to be included in each of your journals, that you have a checklist of things that you're able to follow to say, okay, I proofread this, I added in this, I did this, I checked trademark on this term. And so to assist you with that, I have shared with you a spreadsheet that I created for me, actually. So I created this for me as a way to help me go through that product development process. It's going to help you to include everything that you need to upload your book onto a platform like Amazon KDP or another publishing platform. And so you are able to make sure that your book was fully developed and you did not leave anything out. So if you're interested in that checklist as well as the vendor list that I mentioned earlier, you can click the link in my description. And right now, if you get both, you will automatically get $5 off. So on my website, if you get 2 items, you automatically get $5 off. So make sure that if you're interested, you grab both of those so that you can get those savings. And the last thing I want to share with you is something that y'all, I learned this with Amazon KDP, but I'm very much still learning it right now as I'm continuing on this journey of full-time entrepreneurship because I can't find a job, even though I've been looking. And it's that success in business is not always going to be immediate. This is along the lines of understanding that when you open a business or you start a business, you kind of put a pause on trading your time for money. You still do trade your time, don't get me wrong, but it's not as if you were at a 9 to 5. So you go to a 9 to 5, you stay there for the 8 hours, you complete your shift, you know you're going to get paid. When you start a business, you sit down, you do the work, you may not get paid. Right? There are things in the back end that you need to do that you may not get paid for, right? So if you are creating the listing for the website, if you are designing the journal, if you are marketing on social media, that's time that you're putting in, right? People like to say social media marketing is free, but it's really not free because you put a lot of time into that. And so you put that time in, you don't automatically get paid, right? Sometimes you post 10 videos and you never make any money. I've spent 2 hours already working on the script for this video. I'm spending an hour right now filming the video. It's probably going to take me anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to edit the video and upload it for you to see it. I have not been paid for any of those things. And at the end of the night, when I lay down, I do not have a time card that is going to pay me out. Instead, I'm putting it on YouTube and I'm trusting that all the work that I put in does not go to waste, right? Sometimes I post a YouTube video and I only get 50 views. Sometimes I post a YouTube video and I get 130,000 views. That only happened to me once, but you never know. Maybe this video might be it. Saying that to say, when you have a business, it is not a direct, I gave you my time, I'm getting this amount of money. That doesn't really exist, right? Sometimes it takes months, years for you to see results. If we're going back to publishing books, you upload the book onto Amazon KDP. For some people, it might take years before that book starts to sell, right? And so it's not a direct one-to-one. And for a lot of people, that can cause you to be discouraged. But that's just literally how it is. And so success is not immediate, but you are able to speed it up. And so the first way you can speed it up is by putting in the work. I was publishing on Amazon KDP my first year. I only made $1,000. The reason I made $1,000 my first year is because, as I said to you all in this video, I had a stationery business, right? So I'm selling these journals and I'm saying, hey, if you want this in paperback, go to here. The link is in my bio, right? So I'm putting in the work. Sometimes I would even be sitting on TikTok live. I would be answering questions as people popped in, greeting people as they popped in, trying to start up a conversation. I would be telling them, this is the journal, this is how you can benefit, this is what you can use it for. I would literally be like opening a shop. It's just that I'm home, you're watching me on your phone, but this is a real-time interaction where I'm trying to sell you. I'm trying to convince you to click the link in my bio and check out. And that works, right? But it's not passive, right? That is me literally talking to you, getting you to purchase my book. That is just as going and knocking on somebody's door and trying to sell them a set of knives. And so if you want to see results faster, you have to put in the work. And so for me, I chose to give my time, right? So I sat down, I went on live, or I would post my videos and I would be trying to move that product. I'm trying to sell these books. I'm really, really hustling. And so that's how I made that first $1,000 on Amazon. That's how I got people to click to Amazon. And that's how they were able to say, wait a second, this person is selling books. And what happened was now the algorithm is like, okay, if she got 7 people to purchase, let's go ahead and show this to 20 people who are already shopping on Amazon. And in my opinion, that is exactly how I was able to make that $67,000. I don't think it was just chance. Success is a mixture of luck and productivity. If you don't put in the work, you can never get lucky. Okay, I'm just saying. If you never start the business, if you never upload the book, you can't get lucky to sell it, right? So it does take work. So don't think that, oh, it's just luck, you got lucky. Mm-mm-mm. You can't get lucky if you don't put in the work. The second way that you can speed up your success is by investing your money, right? So you already invested your time with your social media marketing and you're sitting on your TikTok live. Or you can invest your money by running ads, right? So you can run ads on Amazon, you can run ads on Facebook, you can run ads on Etsy. So you give them your money and they push your book, they push your product. And that's another way that lots of people see success fast. I personally did not run any ads. I'm still learning ads because I do think ads are valuable, especially in this time when we have so many more content creators, we have so many more people creating books. I do think ads are valuable, and so I'm taking my time right now to learn as much as possible. Which goes back to the second thing I shared, right? That's that second lesson, immerse yourself. So if you're like, you know what, I may need to run ads, and start small, start learning. Amazon even has like a course that you can take that teaches you about ads. So there are tons of things that you can do to build your knowledge base as you look to start or grow your business. And again, I have ebooks and resources for you guys on my website, Shanice on Biz. So feel free to check me out there and continue to support the work that I'm doing here on this channel. So that's it. You made it to the end of the video. I really do hope that you found this video helpful and that the tips I shared with you can be effective in helping you to start or grow a successful business selling stationery products or books online. If you have any additional questions, I would love to answer your questions. Go ahead and drop those in the comment section below. Also, if you haven't yet, please like this video, share it with someone who you think may benefit, as well as give your girl a subscribe, okay? Help me to grow my channel. Listen, I'm trying to get to 100K subscribers by the end of this year. It's a big goal, but that's my goal. So if you can help me out and share this video, I would really appreciate it.